Well, hello, I'm Dan,
And this is James.
and this is Backseat Driver Movie Reviews.
So we just saw Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom.
Correct, the latest movie in the Jurassic Park franchise that sees the return of Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard to continue, I guess, this second trilogy of Jurassic Park films. It's not good.
It is one, I'm not even like worried about spoiler alerts. This is one of the saddest movies I think I've ever seen. One, I don't want to see overall dinosaurs being killed by humans. And when a velociraptor is crying, it just breaks your heart. Or that freaking dinosaur that burned up because of the loss. I'm sorry, it's one of the saddest things, but it's also extremely pathetic. There's no reason for it.
So the plot of the film is obviously there's a volcano on the island where all the dinosaurs are. It's going to erupt, so sort of like Hawaii recently. And it's going to wipe out the island. And so there's a private donor related to the Hammond Foundation that wants to save the dinosaurs. And it's a whole question of, do we let nature take its course? Do we try to save these de-extinct animals? And at the end of the day, I just don't care. Like, the movie was, the cardinal sin of the movie was, it's boring. I mean, I sat there, the dinosaurs are caged or tranquilized for most of this film. And then when they get out in the most obvious ways. That characters exist for the reason of explaining things to the audience. It's bad. I mean, you and I, we see a lot of movies. And so one of the things you will say to me a lot is that I'm too logical when I look at movies. And I'm sitting there thinking, on this estate, there's somebody doing something that the owner of the estate is unaware of.
How? I get the. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna do complete spoilers. I get that the guy was dying.
Right.
But how? There's a whole underground. It is like the X-Men.
Exactly. And that was my point. They built an entire underground facility, docking station, and auction house on this estate.
A super technical one.
That I guess everybody was unaware of. So, things like that are just the leaps in logic, and what you're asked to actually assume are just so vast. They could be overcome if the movie itself were actually a well-paced popcorn film, but at the end of the day, it's just really, really boring because it's a lot of talking, it's a lot of slowness, and there's not a lot of action. And I will say this: I love dinosaurs. I grew up loving dinosaurs. And some people might disagree with me greatly. Jurassic Park is a franchise that I don't know why it exists. Jurassic Park is a great film. It is entertaining and terrifying and well directed and acted, and everything about it is great. It is a great film. None of the other movies in this franchise are good films.
I liked. Well, I mean, I love the first one. Second one, no. Third one, no. But I did like the
Jurassic World.
Yeah, I did like that. It's funny because I mean I've seen Jurassic Park so many times, and they literally took the bits and pieces with her and the dumb waiter and we've seen everything that was in this movie. We've seen it in the first movie.
Well, And that's how I feel about these films, and that's part of the reason I just don't know why the franchise exists, because it's much like watching the Friday the 13th movies. You are going to get the same characters over and over in pretty much the exact same situations, just mixed up a little bit. You have the, evil poacher character motif who's too macho for his own good. You have the child in danger, who is incredibly smart for her own good. You have the technical geek. You have the veterinarian, the person that really knows the dinosaurs really well.
The sassy.
And they might switch genders of some of the people, but they're such stereotypical characters, and now there's 5 of these movies, and they have the same people in them, slightly tweaked and mixed up a little bit, but there are vast stretches of the movie where you're just like, oh, I've seen this before.
I will say, and it's not like a super twist, but I mean, I think Jurassic Park came out when I had just graduated high school.
Mm-hmm.
And they make all these movies throughout the years, and like the big thing was, well, how come they can't do humans? Why aren't they cloning humans? This film answered that question.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. And I mean that. There's so much. This movie was useless. I like dinosaurs. I love dinosaurs. I don't want to see my dinosaurs dying in a pathetic way. I want to see the T-Rex fighting whatever. But I don't know if it's the same T-Rex every single time, but we've seen that scene, because there ain't no new scenes in this film. It's just...
Well, and again, I would have gladly taken more T-Rex fighting than was in this movie, because this movie just didn't have enough actual dinosaurs doing things. But even more so, I knew from the outset the kind of movie it was going to be when we meet Chris Pratt's character in this, and he's building his house by hand out on the lake in the mountains. Not only that, but there are the chopped down trees next to his house that I guess he's going to then form into the boards that he is putting on the house. It's not even that he went to Home Depot and got lumber to build this house. They actually show you like the trees he's cut down that are neatly stacked like giant firewood that he's going to somehow make.
You don't find that realistic? He's gonna like mill his own trees,
and that is my problem.
Into perfect 2x8s or whatever they are.
Yes, it is just so lazy. It's lazy, and that's the thing. It's just so lazy and stereotypical like that, and the movie does not get any better.
So this is like a random that I'm just gonna post to you. So there's scenes in this movie where dinosaurs were being sold off.
Mm-hmm.
Where in the logic of this film would a dinosaur ever sell for $10 million?
Well, yes.
We work for a nonprofit, and we have the half that budget to provide free things. And I'm just like, I was like thinking, okay, they're going to be selling like one dinosaur for like 30 or 40, 50 million. And then, like the even bigger one. No, 10 million.
Well, and the whole dinosaurs as weapons has already been done in other Jurassic Park films. So it's just...
This isn't over.
It's not a good film. I was really disappointed in it. And to me, the cardinal sin is this. It was boring. It was just boring.
I feel like the cardinal sin for me is it was just nothing new. Has the same ending as every other one, but it does have the what was the first movie when they revamped the Planet of the Apes, the original one, where like the apes actually escape.
Right.
That's what this one is.
Yeah.
Maybe next time the next one, Jurassic World 3, the dinosaurs will actually talk. Who knows? Or our whole world is now destroyed, which I don't want to see that either. It's like, I mean, what they're doing is they're like making it go to where, you know, the world is now caveman time.
Right. Well, and I will at least give it credit for this. When I saw Jurassic World, I was like, this really isn't a Jurassic World. This is really just a Jurassic Park again.
Mm-hmm.
This one, at least, they get to the world part.
Yeah.
So, I just have to say, I think I give it one popcorn bucket out of 5. It's not good. It's just boring.
I'll give it 1.5 because I do like the dinosaurs. You know, yeah. I'll give it 1.5.
Alrighty, well, I'm Dan.
And I'm James.
And this is Backseat Driver Movie Reviews.
Bye.